This video provides a summary of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, first published in 1960. All rights to the original work are owned by the respective copyright holders. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It provides a summary and analysis of To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic novel set in the fictional town of Maycomb, Alabama, during the 1930s. The book is narrated by Scout Finch, a young girl whose father, Atticus Finch, is a respected lawyer. Through Scout's eyes, we witness her childhood experiences, her relationship with her brother Jem, and the events surrounding the trial of Tom Robinson, a black man falsely accused of a white woman. The novel explores themes of racial injustice, moral growth, and the coexistence of good and evil. The story begins with Scout recalling her childhood, specifically how her brother Jem broke his arm. As she looks back on the events that led to this, we are introduced to the Finch family. Scout's father, Atticus Finch, is a well-respected lawyer, and her brother Jem is 4 years older than her. Their mother died when they were young, leaving Atticus to raise them with the help of Calpurnia, their black housekeeper. The Finch family lives in Maycomb, a small, sleepy town where everyone knows each other. Scout, Jem, and their friend Dill spend their summers playing and trying to learn more about their mysterious neighbor, Arthur Boo Radley. Boo lives in the Radley house, a dark, run-down place that has become the subject of local rumors. People in Maycomb say Boo is a reclusive, dangerous figure who never leaves his home. The children are both frightened and fascinated by Boo, often daring each other to get close to the Radley house. As Scout starts school, she quickly realizes that her curiosity and love of learning aren't always appreciated by her teacher, Miss Caroline. Scout's intelligence and ability to read set her apart from her peers, and she often gets into trouble for speaking her mind. This reflects a key theme in the novel, the clash between individuality and societal expectations. Over time, Scout, Jem, and Dill continue to obsess over Boo Radley, despite Atticus's advice to leave Boo alone and stop making a game of him. One summer, the children begin finding small gifts hidden in a knothole of a tree on the Radley property. They believe the gifts, which include carved soap figures and chewing gum, are from Boo. This leads Scout to reconsider her assumptions about Boo's character. As the children grow older, the novel shifts focus to a more serious and complex issue, the trial of Tom Robinson. Tom, a black man, is accused of Mayella Ewell, a young white woman. Despite the clear evidence of Tom's innocence, the deeply ingrained racism in Maycomb makes it unlikely that he will get a fair trial. Atticus agrees to defend Tom, which sets the Finch family apart from much of the town and exposes them to hostility. Scout and Jem begin to experience the harsh realities of racism firsthand. They hear insults directed at their father and are mocked by their peers. Despite this, Atticus teaches them important lessons about empathy and justice, reminding them that standing up for what is right isn't always popular or easy. During the trial, Atticus presents a strong defense, demonstrating that Mayella's injuries were likely inflicted by her father, Bob Ewell, and not by Tom. Atticus argues that Mayella was lonely and sought Tom's company, but later accused him of in order to cover up her own guilt and fear of being caught. Despite the compelling evidence, the jury convicts Tom simply because he is black. This outcome devastates Jem, who had believed that justice would prevail. Tom's conviction has a profound impact on the town and the Finch family. While Atticus remains steadfast in his belief in the justice system, he is also realistic about the deep-rooted racism in Maycomb. He appeals Tom's conviction, but Tom, disheartened by the injustice, attempts to escape from prison and is shot and killed. The trial also affects Maycomb's social dynamics. While some people, like Miss Maudie and Judge Taylor, quietly support Atticus's efforts, others, like Bob Ewell, are furious. Ewell feels humiliated by the trial and seeks revenge on Atticus and his family. Scout continues to mature, learning more about the complexities of human nature. she grapples with the idea that people aren't simply good or evil, but rather capable of both. This is reinforced by Atticus's advice to try and see the world from other people's perspectives, a lesson Scout applies when she finally meets Boo Radley. In the novel's climax, Bob Ewell attacks Jem and Scout as they walk home from a Halloween event. Boo Radley, who has been quietly watching over the children throughout the story, intervenes and saves them, killing Bob Ewell in the process. Afterward, the sheriff, Heck Tate, decides to report that Bob Ewell's death was accidental, sparing Boo from unwanted attention. In the final scenes, Scout walks Boo home and realizes that he has always been a protector, not the monster that the children had imagined. She reflects on Atticus's earlier advice about how it's a sin to kill a mockingbird, a metaphor for the innocence destroyed by evil. Boo, like Tom Robinson, is one of the novel's symbolic mockingbirds, innocent people who are harmed by society's prejudices. As the novel closes, Scout stands on Boo's porch, seeing the world from his perspective for the first time. She gains a deeper understanding of her father's teachings about compassion, justice, and the importance of fighting for what is right, even when the odds are stacked against you. This summary outlines the key events and themes of To Kill a Mockingbird, focusing on Scout's coming-of-age journey, the racial injustice faced by Tom Robinson, and the lessons about morality and empathy that permeate the novel. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is a summary of To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, first published in 1960. All rights to the originals are owned by the respective copyright holders.